Science, Pilani. It's been called as BITS Pilani. So he completed his MTech Machine Design and PhD in the area of tribology from IIT Madras, Chennai. He served for a brief period in Bharat Gears, Thane, and then joined us PhD College of Technology as a faculty in the year of 1981. After 33 years of service at PhD College of Technology in various designations, including Professor and Head Mechanical Engineering, TechUp Coordinator, Dean Autonomous Functioning. Then he served as the Principal of PhD Institute of Technology and Applied Research from 2014 to February 2021. So the newly formed PhD iTech team, under his stewardship, he secured the first rank among the self-financing engineering colleges under Anna University for the 3 consecutive semesters from the academic year 2014 to 2015. So his main research areas are automation, tribology, and machine tool design. He has guided 17 PhD students and has published more than 92 publications in international journals and conferences. He has taken up many industrial consulting activities and has completed 16 sponsored projects. He has traveled extensively to various countries like UK, Japan, USA, and Germany. He was the instrumental in setting up the new laboratories like Sensor Interface Laboratory in the Department of Mechanical Engineering during his tenure. He has won several awards, including the prestigious AICTE CII Award for the Best Faculty in Mechanical Engineering discipline for the year 2012, and the PK Das Memorial Best Faculty Award for the year 2010 and 2011. He is the responsible for indigenous design and development of critical care medical ventilator funded by Society of Biomedical Technology and commercialized by Pricol, Coimbatore. Under his leadership, the products infant ventilator and multi-parameter monitor were collaboratively developed by PhD College of Technology and Pricol Medical System. He has passion for sharing effective teaching learning techniques with engineering college teachers. He has delivered more than 120 lectures in various engineering colleges and forums on the topic of scaffolding techniques for better student attention in classroom environment, project-based learning case studies, expectation management, and stress management for teachers. He has set up a lean learning factory in PhD College of Technology with his colleagues as a part of Indo-German collaborative project on the application of lean manufacturing to machine tool industries, jointly carried out with IIT Delhi and University of Darmstadt, Germany. He has coordinated and delivered more than 28 continuing education programs, conferences where he has shared his expertise. He has also conducted several workshops to school children also. He was awarded the Best Paper Award and Outstanding Corporate Fellow Member Award in the year of 2005 from the Institution of Engineers, India. So we are very delighted to have with you, sir. I welcome you once again. The session is yours, sir.
Thank you. So very good morning to all. So I would like to again start the session by congratulating the EC department of PhD iTech for conducting this beautiful 1-week faculty development program, particularly the head of the department, Professor Vetrivelan. And I think we have reasonably good response for this program, good number of participants. How many are there? Yeah, as of now, 22 participants are there. Hopefully some more should be joining. Anyway, so we have some in-house participants, quite a few people. Okay, and they're all faculty colleagues of PhD iTech. So they're also in the in-person mode. So today's topic that we had planned to cover is an interesting topic. And this topic deals with mind management. So that is the topic which we are going to address today. And mostly I'll be using chalk and board process. And I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, but nevertheless, let's try to understand. So let me just ask a few questions to the audience so that I can tune all of you to the subject matter. Is there anybody who doesn't understand Tamil in the participants? Two people are there. Okay, so therefore I'll talk completely in English, and whenever I switch over to Tamil, I will adequately translate it in English. Okay, fine. So therefore, so the topic is a very interesting topic, as I told you, called mind management. Let's try to understand the topic in some detail today. Okay, so as the general procedure, when you go through this subject of mind management, what will be the outcome? Let us try to put it down in black and white. If you study mind management thoroughly, what is the benefit to all of you? Okay, so therefore let us try to list that, because that is the goal that we have to set for ourselves. Okay, so can somebody start? So I have quite a few people. Sir, can I have the other mic so that they can also join? And what is that? Give it to me. Is it working? Yeah, I think anybody can start. If you study mind management, what will be the outcome? Let me start with Soumya. Yeah, please go ahead, Ma. Okay, so Madam Soumya says, my concentration, my concentration will increase. Okay, good. My focus will increase. Okay, what else? Anybody else?
Anger management, sir.
She says, I'll be, she says, her name is Archana. She says she'll be able to limit the anger. Okay, so that is also another important. So I'll put it as
Hello.
emotional stability. Can I put it like that, Ma, Archana?
Hello.
So there will be emotional stability. That means we will not be carried away by our emotions unnecessarily. Okay, what else? Maybe we have some gents here. Solunga, Ma.
Self-motivation, sir.
Okay, she says concentration, excellence. Okay, all this is possible once you are motivated. Okay,
Adapt to the situation.
okay. Emotional stability. Okay, your emotions will not flare up. Okay, let's hear from this side. Sir, anything else?
To be happy always and be satisfied.
Very important point. Okay, that means what? When you are interacting with people, you will be எப்படி பார்க்கணும்? எப்படி இருக்கணும்? Happy. A cheerful disposition, a smiling face, and making people what? Comfortable. That's very important. Okay, on the contrary, if you try to shout at people, what will happen? If you shout at people, that means you are not emotionally stable. You are not happy within. Try to understand that. So all of us have to be happy. Another important point, Bala, you want to add something? I think Venkatesh is interested in telling something. Sir.
Improved relationship.
Very important point. Professor Venkatesh says, sir, I want harmony in relationship. Am I correct? You relate to whom? You relate to your own family people, your spouse, if you are married, your siblings. You relate to students. You relate to faculty colleagues. You relate to the top management. Okay. In all the relationships, what is important? Hariharan? Yes. Harmonious relationship. A kind of a win-win situation. Okay. Wherever you relate, there will be problems. There will be challenges. Okay. In spite of all problems, in spite of all issues, we have to be what? Happy, relating to anybody. Try to understand that? Okay. What else? Anything else?
Healthy mind and peaceful state of living.
Oh, okay. Another important thing. See, there is nobody to relate to. Okay. There is nothing to do. You are all alone. How should you be? That is what he says. I have to be at peace. 7A இருக்கணும். Okay, try to understand that. When nobody is there, now what do we do? What do we do now? சொல்லுங்க ஜெயசாந்தி. No work is there, no cooking, holiday, okay, and people are all busy. What will you do? Switch on cell phone, start WhatsApp, start looking at this, that, etc. Correct? And all the time restless. Try to understand that. All the time the mind is running from one pillar to another pillar, jumping. Okay. If nothing is there, find fault with whom? Immediately those who are there in front of you, do this, don't do this. Okay. All this kind of activities we are involved in. So therefore, let us understand, when you are alone, you should be at peace. When you are relating to people, there must be harmony. And all actions must come out of happiness, out of fullness. Try to understand that? Out of fullness, not out of helplessness. Try to understand that? So out of fullness, if actions can come, naturally you will wear what? What? A smile? Yes or no? There will be a smile, natural smile, not on a fabricated one. Okay, a natural smile will be there in your this thing, and there will be excellence in whatever you do. It could be what? For example, you are cooking, you will be happily cooking. You are teaching, joyfully you will be teach. You are studying for your higher studies, put in all effort, systematically. Okay, so this is the final outcome or the goal in proper mind management. Is that clear? Okay, so the goal is set. Is it relevant to all of us, Venkatesh? Or is it relevant to only somebody else?
No, sir, it is relevant to everybody.
Yes, it is relevant to all of us. So therefore, it is part of living. Okay, we are incidentally teachers, but we are all human beings, rather beings, and we have to be happy inside and outside through all interactions. So how to be happy? How to be at peace in all interactions? That is the question. A relevant question for all of us. Rama Suchitra, is there anybody who says, no, sir, I want something else? As madam told, you want to reach pinnacle of your growth. You want to get PhD. You want to do a lot of publications. You want to publish books. You want to be an excellent teacher. You want to do multiple projects. All these will come here. You understand that all your goals are included. But one thing is what? Happily you will be doing. For now, how are we doing? How are we doing our activities? How are we doing, ma? Cholung ma. Are we doing happily? Really? Oh, very good. She says, Archana says, I am doing my job very, very happily. How about you, sir? He is coming practically. For a valley, without interest, I have to, for my living, I have to do something.
Yes, sir.
For some purpose, I have to fulfill somebody, satisfy somebody. I have to, nod my head. Only then things will move. So therefore, having no other go, we keep doing activities, but can we do happily at all points of time? Not that the world will change. People will be like this. Setup will be like this. And in spite of the world being what it is, can you be happy, joyful, full of inner peace? That is the question, right? So it is something commonly required by all of us. And Hariharan, do you agree? Okay, Hariharan is a researcher. So you want to do research, but happily. Okay, you want to meet your boss. Okay, even if the boss is a little unhappy, but still you have to be happy inside and appropriately respond. Am I correct? So that is the kind of situation. So this is the goal setting for us. Any points you would like to add here? So as far as our classes are concerned, you can always, participants from outside can always add. I'm very happy that Professor Muruganandam is also there. I'm doubly happy. He is another sincere faculty who will be talking in detail tomorrow about art of teaching. Sir, most welcome, sir. I also welcome all our online participants. Okay, anybody who wants to comment, please kindly do feel free. Okay, fine. So therefore, let us continue our journey. Now, the process that we will be, the methodology that we will be talking is called direct path methodology. And lot of literature is available about direct path methodology. And there is one great teacher by name Francis Lucilli, who was trained by, is basically a scientist, person who is teaching this direct path, how to manage the mind in order to get all this. He was trained by another medical doctor by name John Klein, and John Klein had visited India. He had studied number of good practices in India and in the West. He was teaching for quite some time. And of course, at that point of time, Francis Lucilli, I think he's now about 70 years old. He's a person who is talking on this subject in great detail. And if you Google and find out, you will see plenty of videos, okay, where he's answering questions and trying to teach people. Okay, so that is his name, you can always see. And another, his student, yet another expert, his student, Rupert Spira, is also talking about this topic in great detail, and plenty of material is available in the YouTube. Okay, and if you just Google them, you will have lots of videos. Okay, some are paid, some are free of cost available. And of course, they have all taken the material from India and they are propagating it in their own way. Another interesting person who talks about this is a very old person, about 80 years old, Peter Russell. Okay. At that point of time, a team from US had come long back. It was in, I think, about 1980s or 70s. They had boarded a bus from US, via BMW bus. They all came to India, picked up the wisdom, and then they are sharing it among themselves in the so-called non-duality circle. Okay, so this is the method what we are going to discuss, and these are the teachers who teach related stuff. Okay, you can Google and find out. For more details, you can refer to them. Okay, so that is basically the kind of a scenario. Okay, so I have set the goal. We are going to talk about this method and what practices we have to do on a daily basis. We will discover at the end. Okay, so that we fulfill this particular goal. Am I clear? What practices you should do on a day-to-day basis. Okay, now let us see the fundamental problems. Mostly we call them as psychological suffering. Psychological. Let me try to elaborate a little bit on psychological suffering. Before that, let me tell you what is meant by our normal mind. Okay, I would now request you to imagine about a small child. How is a small child?
Inquisitive.
Very inquisitive, okay. Yeah, so let us say our roots are happiness. The child is happy. Any reason is there for the child to be happy? No reason. Okay, your son will play happily wherever he plays, correct? He says, I don't want, I want only tata, I want only party. No, put the child wherever, in whichever place, airport, car, lawn, wherever you put the child will be playing happily, correct? That is a very, very typical way normal mind is. Okay, what else? It will be naughty. That is a characteristic of the child. What else? Generally, it will be calm. Try to understand that. What do you mean by calm? Unagitated. All points will be explaining using negative. Okay, right now our mind is jig jig, all the time chattering, all the time. So many programs are going on. What to do at 11 o'clock? What break? I mean, what is the lunch for today? Okay, what about my publication? What about my project? What about the DC meeting? What about this, that, etc.? Mind is all the time agitated, whereas for a child, relatively calm. Okay, child is happy, child is calm. Okay, and does the child have any worry about the past? Yes or no?
No, sir.
The child will be always in the present, always in the now or present. All the time the child will be in the present, unless you remind that day, you know what happened? If you give a prompt like that, the child will go to the past. But you and I, many a times, where are we? Are we in the present, or most of the time we are in the, she is worried about future. What will happen to my project? What will happen to my promotion? What will happen to this? Okay, will my paper get through? Okay, will I be able to make my HOD happy? Will I be able to make the principal happy? So all the time worried about the future. Will I be able to complete this exam, that exam? Correct? All the time we are worried about future. So we continue to regret about the past. Okay, that day my friend did not talk to me well. That day my in-laws were not happy with me. Therefore, I am not happy. Okay, my students did not come to the class in time that day. So we are all the time having regrets about the past, whereas the child is in the present. Okay, another important thing. Let us say the child has had some food. Okay, that means it doesn't have any physical need. It will not cry. The child is having a physical need. What will it do? It will cry, ask for food. Okay, that is the only way of communication. Immediately it will cry. And once the mother is able to feed, what happens to the child? Very, very happy. The right word. Normal mind is contented. Try to understand that. The child is happy. Triptyaha irukkum. Nitya tripti. Okay, unless it feels hungry. Correct? Okay, are we contented? Are we contented? Bala solunga. Are we contented?
Only if we get what we want.
Bala says that if we get what we want, then I will be contented. That means now he is not contented. Correct? You ask anybody. Okay, if only I buy dash car, will I be happy? Correct? Now my next budget is, or project is, buy this dash car. If only I buy this car, will I be contented? What the advertisements are doing for coming to our Hariharan, what will be the challenge? If only my patent gets through. Correct? If only my research papers get through. If only I get an appreciation from my guide, okay, will I be happy? Correct? You will never get that appreciation from your guide, perhaps. Okay, because he's all the time setting the bar high. So that means we will never be what? Contented. So that is how we are. So the normal mind is fully contented, happily, joyfully. Try to understand that, like a child. Okay, this is our normal mind. What do advertisements do? Tell me. They say you are incomplete with this gadget. Correct? Without this, you are incomplete. So what should you do? You buy this gadget, you will become what? Full. And then you will be contented. So all advertisements, shall I say, they are promoting discontent. Yes or no? Somehow they have to make you what? Unhappy, incomplete, discontented. And then what? They will make you buy their products. In the process, their life will go on. Okay. in a way they are exploiting us. Right? Understand that? So normally contented mind is gradually made discontent. By whom? By the advertisements. What about your family people? They have lots of expectations. If only you complete your PhD degree, it will be good. If only you are promoted, you will be happy. Or if only you are achieving this, okay. If only you get married, okay, what will happen? And early marriage, then we will be contented. Next, after marriage, what will they say? If only you have a child, okay, and that too what? Dash child, they will say, they have got their own expectations, we will be happy. So that means they are teaching us discontentness, okay. And similarly, what do we do as faculty? If only all the students get what? Top grade, I will be happy, correct? Okay, stressing on the grade is okay, but giving the privilege of being happy to something else is not proper. Right? Understand that? I'll repeat that sentence. Don't give the privilege, please write down also, don't give the privilege of your being happy to any object. Right? Understand that? Do you understand the point? Don't give the privilege of being happy to anybody, to any object. Okay. Fine. So these are all it's called the normal mind. Okay. Now here you have a figure. Let us try to talk about this figure. Okay. Can somebody tell me what is this figure? Thanks to the drawing and painting club of our PAG iTech, about Suchitra and Deepa and Amma Pernama. What's the name of that Amma? Jayanti, all three were busy trying to draw this figure. Okay, now question is, what is this figure all about? Yeah, I think Bala has some point. Yeah, please.
And always has the welcoming.
Yes, child will say welcoming. Yeah, child will say yes. It's a very important point. Okay, there is a tree, it will say yes to it. Okay, there is a toffee, it will say yes to it. There is some beautiful playground, it will say yes to it. There are some uncles coming, it will say yes to it, unless we have polluted it. Right? Understand that? The child will always say welcome. And how about we? Solunga Madam Santana Mari? Oh, that means sometimes I am childlike. Okay, the child is innocent. Child is innocent. Okay. Many a times as the age grows up, Madam Enama Pano, we will say no. Correct? Yes or no? Anything the HOD says, what do we say? On the face, yes, but inside, no. Correct? Yes or no? To make him. Certain places we have to be very clear about, this is not possible. Then you have to say no. But by and large, what will happen? The mind will keep on resisting. Okay, I'll put it in the negative thing also. Our normal nature is not resisting. Okay. You won't go for a picnic and then say, no, the mountain should be different. You won't go and see a big river, Kaveri River, and say, no, the river Konaya Pokudade, it should be different. Correct? Okay, we will say yes. Okay. And particularly when you look at children, what happens? You also say yes. The child plays some mischief. You say yes, provided the mischief is within limits. Okay. So we also welcome. See, if you see, another important thing is, what about pets? You have a pet dog. You have a pet cat. Okay. What does it do? You can see all these qualities in the pet dog. Happy, cheerful. Okay. All the time calm. Okay. It will wag the tail. All the time being in the present. Contented. Because it has had its food. Okay. And it says, yes, you play any game, it will play along with you. You take it for a walk, it will come along with you. You show something, it will be happy. Okay. Even entire nature, if you see, all trees, birds, they all have this particular thing. I don't understand that. Okay, I was asking the question, what is this particular figure all about? Yeah, somebody, sir, you tell what is that point? Welcoming. Okay, this figure, what does it reveal to you? So it is an upside down tree. It is what? Upside down tree. Okay, that means the essence of this figure is we look at what the world incorrectly. தலைகீழா பார்க்கிறோம். Okay, if you can learn the art of looking at the tree properly, you will regain your original nature. Go back to your roots. These are the roots, correct? These are the roots. And these roots, part of it, are hidden. The roots are hidden, and that is your essential nature. From your essential nature, original nature, just for communication, I'm going to say your roots are the higher self. And if you can go back to your higher self, if you can go back to your roots, very good. That means we are now slipping into what? Our lower self. Okay? And we are no more innocent. We are no more what is called as childlike. Okay, we have started many things with our instrument called mind. Correct? Okay. Now tell me, what are such things? We use our mind. See, you can see the child will not compare. Will it compare? But we teach the child, you should be like that fellow. You should be this way. You should be that way. Correct? Okay. So therefore, now we have picked up one leaf. I'm going to tell a few leaves. We are good at comparing. And after comparing, what will you do? What will you do? Okay. After comparing, you will say you are no good. Correct? Though you will not tell it in so plain words, you will say what? You are no good. Okay. We compare and judge others. Yes or no? So this is one incorrect element of our mind management. We are caught in this. Okay. Like this, now we will discuss in how many different ways we are mismanaging our mind. Okay. So therefore, judging, comparing. Okay. Suppose I know a professor in PhD Tech. He always what? Says, sir, you people are great. I am after all so and so. What is that? What is that? Yeah, pardon? Yes. So he is doing what is called a self-judgment. Correct? Self-judgment. Taking oneself as what? An inferior individual. Self-judgment, judgment of others, and trying to decry them is another negative aspect, right? What else? Complaining. Oh, beautiful thing. We have a beautiful method of what? Complaining. Mind is all the time dividing and complaining. Complaining about what? Even though we have a very good infrastructure, we still complain what? No, everything is fine, but this is not okay. Okay, ATM is not okay. That is what students have given in writing. The food is not okay in the hostel. Okay, somewhere some difficulty of accommodation is there. We keep on complaining. Okay, like that, what kind of negative aspects we have picked up? Come on, go ahead. Yeah, very good. So for example, whenever a point is made, we are good at justifying our stand. If you want to call all this, you can say it is the lower self is also called sometimes ego. Okay, ego is very much required. For example, the child feels hungry. What does it require? Food. Okay, so it cries. Okay, it has to identify with the body and cry so that that discontent will be set right. So that is required. Right? Understand that? Okay. Similarly, somebody was telling about getting caught in past. Am I correct? Okay, trapped in past. Trapped. I am all the time trapped in past. Can you give me a person who is very good at getting trapped in past? Somebody in your own life? You talk to some elderly people, what will they say? In those days, they would have told the story 100 times, correct? They will not hesitate to repeat it. Pradhangla, getting trapped in the past, but nowadays you people are like this. In our time, we were like this. We had this. We did not have this. We were happy. You are unhappy. This, that, etc. will be happening. So getting trapped in the past, and somebody else was saying, worried about future, correct? Worried about future is another expression of our own lower self. Any difficulty? Okay. So therefore, this is how we have different leaves. Now you have to fill all the leaves. Come on, go ahead. What are the other leaves? Solunga Hariharan. Feel free. Okay. I will put it generally. Professor Venkatesh has told strong likes. I have strong likes for somebody and I have strong dislikes for another person. Right? Understand that? Strong preferences, strong likes. Okay. Preferences are okay. I prefer coffee over tea. It's okay. If coffee is not there, tea is okay. Even if tea is not there, green tea is there, it's okay. Even if it is not there, hot water is good enough. I may have preference for coffee, but other things are reasonably okay. Try to understand that. So our likes and dislikes strong. And see, a child as it matures, it picks up more of dislikes. I only like this uncle. I don't like that uncle. Try to understand that. So this is how the child slowly picks up the negative tendencies. Continue. What else? Pardon? Yeah, immediately the child picks up resistance. No. Yes or no? Resistance to what? Resistance to change. We say you have to take bath in time, you have to brush in time, you have to study in time. The child says what? Shut up. You are encroaching upon my freedom. Resistance to change, resistance to discipline. Okay, this is how the mind is trained. What else? Okay. Dominance. Okay, you can put it also here. It tries to dominate. Okay. Dominate. What do you mean by miscommunication? Yes, you have a different interpret to suit your convenience. Interpret inappropriately. I'll put it like that. Okay. There was a good intention in doing something, but what happens? That intention is not communicated. Inappropriate interpretation of the intention is there. Okay, very good. What else? One at a time. Yeah. Is it there? No. See, we are now talking about, see, the learning to care comes from here, original nature. It is full of love. Our original nature is full of love. Okay. Learning to care is very much here naturally. But learning not to care is a problem. Try to understand that? Okay. What else? Pardon? Yes, I am self-centered. I want everything for me. I don't care about what others. I am self-centered. I, me, mine. Keeps on repeating all the time. Enakku enna kedaikum? What is it there for me? If I attend this course, what is it there for me? Will I get a certificate? Will I get this? Will I get a promotion? Okay, if I publish this paper, will I get an award? Will I get a promotion? So the mind is all the time asking for returns, self-gratification. What else? Yeah, very important point. Fear. Fear about what? Yeah, fear about, yeah, somebody has put it beautifully. Lot of very nice expectations. Go on expecting. Okay. Expectations. Anxiety is our worried about future. Okay, anxiety is here. You can put it as anxiety. Very good. What else? Good, good. Online participants are coming with very nice points. Please carry on. Fear. Fear about what? Fear of death. Suppose I die, right? Supposing that, something happens, I lose my job. Supposing that I didn't get promotion. Fear. Okay, supposing that something happens on the way, I'm traveling in a car. Suppose something happens, Bayam is always there. And that agitates the mind. Okay, disturbs the mind. What else? Fear of? Very important. Fear of rejection. Okay. Fear of rejection. Says, my HOD has rejected me. My boss will reject me. My principal will reject me. Okay. Okay, my in-laws will reject me. Try to understand that. That fear is all the time lingering. Okay, this is how the whole world is. Okay, we'll see how to go back to our essential self. Okay, what else? Good. It's a very important point. What is called as whatever that you take in, that will set in all this. Okay, people say if the kind of food that you take, it makes you very aggressive. The kind of food, sattvic food, if you take, it really makes you calm and go back to your original self. The type of food that you take also will be equally important. Okay, not only food, the type of movies that you watch, the type of, the WhatsApp things that you watch, that pollutes the mind. Whatever you see, anything that you see, yes, please go ahead. Pardon? Irritation, stress. We are all the time caught up in stress. Okay. Stress about what? Can somebody tell me when does stress come? Whenever there is resistance, there will be stress. I don't agree with the HOD. I don't agree with my spouse. I don't agree with my child. Stress will come. Resistance. What else? Somebody says jealous. Yo, that fellow has gone for 3 patents. I have not got even a single patent. Okay, jealous. So jealousy is another impurity of the mind. Jealousy. What else? Yes. That is again resistance. Okay. Keep on disagreeing. Anything you say, no. Anything your spouse says, no. Anything your HOD says, no. Right? So therefore, out of compulsion, you say, okay, yes. Okay. But internally, there is no happening all the time. So these are the kinds of impurities. Do you feel hurt sometimes? Yes or no? I really feel hurt when my HOD shouts at me. Yeah, I feel a victim. Okay, somebody corners me and blames me. I feel hurt. I feel guilty. Yes or no? Sometimes I should not have done this. Okay, I should not have come to teaching profession. I should not have married this guy. Okay, I should not have this HOD. Okay, all kinds of regrets. I should have a different setup. I deserve a better treatment. Okay, all these are the problems that we have. We feel guilty. I should not have done this. I should not have taken up English as my, what is called a or a light example. Okay, I should have taken up some other branch. I should have taken up some other profession. I should not have joined research work. I should have happily been in what? Teaching job. So all kinds of regrets, guilts, regrets. What else? Pardon? Huh? Okay, okay. So indiscipline, I'll put it in general. Okay. Indiscipline. Discipline. Okay, I take to all adharmic methods, methods which are inappropriate. Okay, telling lies. Okay, see, what about gossiping? What about gossiping? Three people sit together and talk about what? Someone else. That's all. Sit down. What is that gossip? What does it reveal? It reveals mild hatred. Hatred, gossiping. We get caught, isn't it? Yes or no? Whenever people are there, whomsoever is not there, about that person, sit down and talk. Gossip about principal, gossip about HOD, gossip about the professor, gossip about what? Some student, gossip about everybody else. Okay, that kind of habit is also there. What else? These are all the ways the mind engages itself in day-to-day activities. And these are all ulta, reverse things. Okay, now how do we get out of it? Let me see whether I have anything else which is, I tried to exercise authority. 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 What do you mean by authority? It is something like overpowering, resisting. No, you should do this, trying to control, trying to manipulate others. Okay, because I have a selfish agenda. In order to fulfill my selfish agenda, I try to exercise what? Authority. Very important. What else? Pardon. Perasayo, greed. Very important, very important. Yes, resistance results in non-cooperation. Shut up. I will not cooperate. Very important point, non-cooperation. And then I keep on arguing, argumentative, arguing, holding on to our own points. Again comes because of, I have a tendency to argue. I don't listen to you. Yeah, pride. I come from what family, I am from Madurai. Okay, and that kind of a city, such a rich city. I belong to this caste. I belong to this family. Okay, I am of this nature. I am a Pailwan. Okay, okay. So therefore, you boast about your own good self. Okay, I have this. For example, I have a Wacom board. I have a, what is this? iPad. I have iPad. Okay, I use that. And have some self-gratification, correct? If you have that, all these are impurities in the mind. Okay, what else? Pardon? Pardon? Laziness comes with indiscipline. Okay, somewhere we had put indiscipline, lazy. Okay, when will we become lazy? When we take excessive food, we'll be lazy. When we take some spicy food, we'll be made aggressive. Okay, when we take heavy food, okay, we tend to become what? Lazy. Okay, that's why people said take light food. Okay, wait for some time, remain hungry. Okay, all these are important. Anything else? Angry. I think we have put somewhere anger. Have you put anger? Okay, very important. Anger. When do you get angry, Hariharan? When do you get angry? Yes, when things don't go your way, when your expectations are not fulfilled, okay, we tend to become angry. And that too, you become angry with whom? Some person who is a little below you or comparable with you. You don't become angry with your boss, correct? Even if you are angry, what do? Swallow it and somehow run the show. Okay, resistance leads to anger. Okay, what else? I'm trying to see whether any other point we have. See, wanting to be loved. Have you seen that? Enta yarume priyama irukradilla. Enta yarume pesradilla. Nobody talks to me. Nobody loves me. I want to be loved, but nobody loves me. Want to be loved. Okay, these are all the common issues that we come across. My students don't love me. Okay, everybody loves the other teacher. Okay, try to understand that. My boss spends more time with X or Y. Okay, he or she doesn't spend time with me. I want to be respected, want to be loved, want to be respected. I want to be respected. I want to be appreciated. Okay, but I don't get appreciation. I am starving for appreciation. I am starving for others' respect. I am starving for others' love, recognition. Okay, these are all the common problems. Anything else? But okay, all this masala put together is called mixed emotions, hatred, anger, jealousy, greed. Okay, all this put together masala is there deep in me. Pressure to do. Have you understood this? Please look at it. Pressure to do. What happens? I have to prepare for class. I say no to everybody. Okay, I have to do this preparation. So I have a tremendous amount of pressure in me. Sit down, prepare in a hurried way. Okay, try to spend time. Okay, preparing is okay, but pressure to do is the problem. I have to complete this. I have to finish this. I have to complete this paper. Without that, I'll be unhappy, restless. I am all the time mounting pressure that I am the doer. It's another important thing. Anything else? Yeah, please. Please go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
In Maslow's theory of needs, need for love and recognition is being listed as one of the motivators. Now here we are listing them as a negative point.
So Mr. Balakumar has told need for love, need for recognition, these are all natural needs. Okay. But if I become unhappy when that need is not fulfilled, then it becomes a problem. Okay. You expect nothing wrong. If your expectations are not fulfilled, can you go back to your true nature? I don't understand that. So all these are the problems that we have. Sense of lack. Are you able to make out? I don't know where to write. I'll write here. Sense of lack. What do you mean by that? Does the child feel sense of lack? And in the toy liye, adilliye, okay, in the car liye, and அப்படினு நினைக்காத குழந்தை புலம்புதா நம்ம pollute பண்ணா புலம்பும். Okay, but by itself it will not have sense of lack, but you and I will have what? Sense of feeling of helplessness. I am helpless, I am inadequate, எனக்கு நல்ல communication skill கிடையாது, எனக்கு interpersonal skill கிடையாது, எனக்கு what is called as I have these issues. Okay, these are typical. I am helpless, I am caught. Sense of, yeah, I am not happy, I am not satisfied. So these are the issues that we keep on nurturing, keep on repeatedly nurturing in our mind. Yes or no? So these are all the polluting elements which are there in a common man. Am I clear? Let me just see whether I have listed everything. I think wanting to be loved has come, everything. Fine. I think mostly we have listed everything. Insecurity and the bayam, along with fear, insecurity. I feel insecure. Okay. So these are some of the common things that we have. So now, what is the net outcome of all this? Unhappiness. You see, our goal is what? Happiness. Okay. All these, do they make me happy? They make me restless, make me unhappy. There is no peace of mind. Peace of pichikittu irukken. Relationships are full of conflicts. And of course, I am emotionally disturbed. And of course, I am not able to focus in my job, which I am supposed to do. Okay, all these are the problems. So all this put together create just the opposite of this. Correct? Yes or no? So now what should we do? This is where $1 billion question. Okay, before we go to the solution, how much time do we have? We got another half an hour. Okay, so can you get me some water? Yeah, I would like you to tell me one of your typical situations in your life, I would like to listen to you now for about 5 minutes. You can share how you are unhappy because of something. Okay, how psychological suffering is haunting you in your respective lives. Talk from your experience. So who will start first? Ma Suchitra arming ma. Solunga ma. You're ready with an example? Or you want some time? Few more minutes you want. Okay, Bala, as usual, start pa. Yeah, let us listen from Balakumar. He has plenty of problems. Okay, even though he is a bachelor. Okay, good.
Sir, when I joined our college, when I started teaching for the first time, I had the pressure of proving myself. So for the whole semester, though the students are performing well, and though I was getting good feedback and teaching well, I had a pressure moment to moment that I have to complete the job, I have to get good feedback, I have to make the students score good marks. The students have to be the top scorers. At the end of the semester, students got good marks. They were the toppers. But still, for the whole semester, I was under some pressure. I was not happily teaching. I was teaching under pressure, goal-oriented pressure. Sir.
Hello. Now, this so-called pressure, he was using one phrase again and again. What was that phrase? I was trying to prove myself. I was trying to establish myself. I was unhappy. Now we are going to investigate the topic I. Okay, thank you, Bala, for giving the clue to the next important topic, namely I. We will come to the topic of I. So we'll put it here, I. Okay, I want one example from the ladies. Who will tell? Amma, Soumya, solringla. 2 more minutes. Ready பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறேன். You are ready. Ready.
Sir, the current kind of emotions is that when I do multitasking, or say for example being a mom and being working at a place also, there are times when I feel guilty if I'm satisfying in all the ends. Say for example, at times there is a doubt, self-doubt whether I'm a good mom, taking care of the child, or am I really doing my work in college properly? Am I taking care of my husband properly? And there are at times questions whether I am contributing to the family well, or is it that I am the one receiving all the time and not giving anything back? So there is always a self-doubt whether I am the receiver or the giver.
Very good, very good. So it's a very important point, particularly from a mother's point of view, doubting oneself. Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right path? Am I really doing justice to the different roles that I am playing? That question keeps on coming. Very important point. So let us see. Okay. So now all of us are clear. We want a solution to all this, yes or no? Can you get back to your happy, unconditional love? What do you mean by unconditional love, Suchitra ma'am?
That which does not expect anything in return.
Unconditional love, irrespective of the whole world, irrespective of your mom, your husband, your spouse, irrespective of all. There is some feedback. Has it come? Hello? Someone is trying to talk. Who is that? Please go ahead. Yeah? Carry on. Okay, fine. So therefore, there is always an element of self-doubt in all of us. Okay, am I in the right track? That doubting personality, doubting professor is there within all of us. Very, very important point. Okay, but if you can get a solution for all this, and you are able to revert to the unconditional love, that means the world is the same way. People around us are like this only. Setup is like this. My environment is like this. Can I be happy? Can I be calm in spite of the whole world being what it is? If you can go back to your roots, okay, instead of taking all these as real, these lower self, we take them as real. We'll define what is meant by real. We take the lower self as real and suffer. Jealousy, we take it as real, we suffer. We feel hurt, okay, and we suffer. We take the self-doubt as very true and we suffer. Okay, we suffer because of self-judgment. We suffer because of complaining. Though we complain about others, it is like acid. Okay, a vessel full of acid. What will the acid do to the vessel? It will corrode. It will eat away. Okay, if I nurture complaint, if I nurture regret about others, if I nurture hatred about others, I am also going to be victimized. Try to understand that very important point. So therefore, never ever nurture all this. So therefore, what is the solution to all these problems? Sir, we understand these are all common problems all of us face. Is there a solution? Yes. The solution is given by a method called direct path. It is all available in all spiritual literature. Nothing new in that, but they've given a name for it called direct path. Okay, a direct method of moving from what we see to our essential nature. If we can go back to our essential nature, nothing like that. Okay, now the question is, how do we go back? Okay. Anyway, let's try to define the word I before we go to the essential nature. Can you define I, ma? Okay. Good. What do you understand by I will not ask you. You know the answer. Okay, let me try to get the meaning of the word I, which we very commonly use. I means what? I am unhappy. I am suffering. I am in trouble. Okay, that is the mantra happening here, correct? I am agitated. I am disturbed. I am worried. I have all problems. I am suffering in this domain. What about here? I am happy. I am enjoying. I am fine. I am wonderful. Okay, it's all glorious. It's all excellent. Okay, so what is that I? Try to understand? Anybody from the women's side other than Soumya? I know she has undergone the course, so she'll be able to tell. What is that I? Huh? Yeah, madam says I refer to body. Madam says I refer to this body, physical body is I. Okay. Now she has added another dimension. No, not only body. So all these are thoughts in my mind. Okay. And I identify with those thoughts. Therefore, the problem, okay, I am the body. I am the conglomeration of body plus mind. What else? Okay. I am the mind has, very, very special thoughts which are called emotions. Okay. These are generally negative in nature, excepting love. Okay. All these are negative emotions, charged thoughts. That is again a part of the mind. Okay. The mind also has memory, correct? I go back to my memory and suffer. Okay. That also happens. So we normally take ourselves to be this body, ourselves to be this mind. Any other interpretation, Venkatesh? So what our Professor Venkatesh says is, I am the physical existence. High-fi words use பண்றார். I am the physical existence. The body that I am this physical existence. Pardon? Okay, he says, I am a teacher. Okay, he is identified with the role. He is, I am a teacher. I am a male. I have a gender. I am a male. I am a female. I am an Indian nationality. Okay. Correct? I am a Tamilian. Okay. Our thoughts. I am hopeless. For example, okay. I am good for nothing. Okay. I identify with that thought. I am super confident to identify with that thought. Okay, this is how we go on. Any other common, pardon? I am a human being. Okay, that means I will respect only humans. I am a human being. Okay, anything else? Soumya, you can add now points. Now it's your turn. Appa. Oh, paranga, now she is coming with a totally different definition of I. Okay. So, Idala, sir, I think you wanted to add something? Okay, so therefore these are called small I. Okay, these are also I. Try to understand, these are incidentally I, kutti I. But our essential I enna, fundamental I, fundamental truth about ourselves, that is the most important thing. We are caught up in this. We get identified with this thought, fear. Identify with this thought, and the net result of all this is there is suffering. SUFFERING, and this suffering is mostly psychological. I'll write it in running letters. Psychological. What do you mean by psychological? What do you mean by psychological? Mental. Okay, psychological suffering. We have psychological suffering because of what? All these identifications. Because of all this, we are all suffering psychologically, emotionally we are suffering, mentally we are suffering, and we want to revert back to our original nature because we have a confusion. We are now understanding that I am this body. Okay. And normally this example I will give, supposing that, let us say you have fever. How will you tell it in Tamil? Only one word? Huh? Look at it. She says correctly, Odambu sariyilla. Translated in English. Suddenly the I has come. Look at it. See, this is how the problem. When you translate it in English, we say, I am having fever. Whereas in Tamil, how do you say? Body has fever. I don't have fever. Try to see the beauty. Okay, am I clear? Correct as marketing. Okay, I have fever. This is a wrong understanding. Are you able to see that? Body has fever. Okay, who has worry? Ourself. She says, I have worry. Okay, who has worry, ma? Again, I have worry. Huh? So tell it in Tamil. Mind has worry. Try to understand that manasu sari illa. See the difference. We are bundling with I. You are saying, I am as good as this mind. If the mind is worried, I am worried. If the body has fever, I have fever. Okay, if I don't have proper memory, I lack proper memory. Okay, I am as good as this role. Till yesterday I was principal. Today I am a professor. Role has changed. Did I change? Yes or no? Roles have changed. Yes or no? Roles are continuously changing. When I go home, I am a father. When I play with my grandson, I am a grandfather. With my spouse, I am a husband. My roles are many. But what about I? Try to understand that. I is personality. Normally, personality means it is again connected with body-mind complex. Okay. Well, we will now define I. Any other misconception about I? We'll come to the correct definition of I. That I is here. Okay, what we are going to define as I shortly, that I is our roots. And we have missed that root. And we are identifying with what? Paraphernalia. I am identifying with all this, and therefore I am psychologically suffering. If I know my essential nature, no problem. So let us try to understand our true nature. Hariharan, Puriyuda, is the problem clear? Nariya problem te pesitu irukkinga sir. Solution ke varamatikirீங்களே. Okay. Solution is so simple. Okay, but if you understand that I am committing all these mistakes, Okay, and once you understand what is I, you will revert back to your original method, your essence. That is the meaning of direct path. Okay, let us now define I. Ma Cholangama, Soumya, you were half the way defining I. Appa. Okay, let me try to put it. Are you all listening? Okay. Normally we say ear is listening, brain is listening. Okay, people have studied the brain, studied the entire neurology. Is there a person, see, I have a small radio. Okay, inside some sound is produced. The child will think what? There is a radio, inside or a TV, and then you hear some audio. What does your son think? Somebody is inside there. Right to understand that. Somebody is seated inside the dabba and somebody is singing. That is the mistake the child makes. Child can make that mistake, but you and I cannot make that mistake. The dabba, that person is listening. That's how the child thinks. But the I, as Madam Soumya put it, நம்ம சொல்லுவோம்ல நம்ம உடம்புல என்ன இருக்கு? We say life is there, life principle is there. Okay, see, this body falls down, dead. Okay, ears are there, everything is there. Will I be able to listen? No, no listening will happen. What does that mean? Actual listening happens in I. The entity that is listening is our essential I. The entity that is seeing, people say, I see. No, eyes will only capture the image. In the line of sight, this is an instrument. Okay, but there is an I which is seeing. Another name for that I is, we give a beautiful name, consciousness. I will say, I won't call it as consciousness, I will call it as consciousnessing. Okay, I is not a noun at all. I is a verb. For your, English professor is there. It is, okay, I am, so I is seeing, correct? Forget about the grammar, sir. Okay, I is seeing. Are you able to visualize? I is talayating. Try to understand that. I is understanding. So this is where, look at the child will understand what all you say. It may not be able to speak. Do you understand, ma? Your child, Kuti Papa, the child will have all feelings. It can understand the feelings better. It cannot understand your words, but it will feel. It will be able to understand. You discriminate, the child will feel. Try to understand that. So understanding that entity which is consciousnessing. Okay, I'll ask a question. Are you conscious? You're not conscious. You're not conscious. Okay, who is seeing? Are you seeing? Are you seeing? You're seeing. Who is that? Who is seeing? Behind the eye of the eye is seeing. Try to understand. Inner self is seeing. That is consciousnessing. நான் கேட்கிறேன் உயிரோடு இருக்கிறீங்களான்னு கேட்கிறேன். என்ன சொல்லுங்க? No, I am not. I don't think I am alive. Okay, அப்படியா? You are alive. Where did you go to verify that you are alive? You went somewhere. Where did you go? Okay, look at this. What is this? So you came to this object and then reported that this is chalk piece. So the chalk piece was seen. Okay, that seeing took place in your inner self. And you reported it as what? Yellow chalk. That reporting happens in mind. See the difference? Seeing happens in your consciousness. But reporting that it is an yellow chalk happens in the mind. This is a subtle difference. So mind can do lots of imaginations. If I now ask what is called as our Professor Hariharan, he will say, sir, what is this? Chemistry vadiyara solunga. You see, he says calcium carbonate. Try to understand that. He will say it is calcium carbonate and that is better. Okay, you and I will say it is chalk. Somebody else will say what? What will you say, sir? Huh? He will say a cylinder, drawing teacher, he will say a cylinder. Try to understand that. So therefore perceptions change. Somebody will say, no, it is all atoms. Somebody will say, it is all waves, particles, waves. What is that particle? God particle. Somebody will say. So therefore, object is one, perceptions are many. புரியுதுங்களா? அதனால என்ன சொல்லுவோம்? The mind has delusion அப்படிம்போம். What do you mean by delusion? Mind does not see exactly what it is. It sees something based on conditioning. Try to understand that we see the world based on our conditioning, our background. Okay, that is how we see. So therefore, the entity that is seeing, I'm going to put it here, all perceiving happens in I. Can you tell me what do you mean by all perceiving? Who will tell me? Amma choluma. All perceiving happens in I. What does that mean? There are 5 activities which are happening through perception. Soluguma. Listening, hearing happens in I. Then seeing happens with our eyes. I mean, seeing happens in I, not eyes. Okay, then, huh? Okay, smelling, perception. 5 perception. Smelling happens, tasting happens in I. Sense of touch is recognized in I. Try to understand that all perceptions, I is perceiving moment to moment. Okay, this I was there, Venkateshwar, எப்பருந்து? அப்பா, இவர் பிறந்ததுல இருந்து கூட இருக்குது. Try to understand that. That I, was it born? Perceiving I, was it born? Hello? Huh? Was nurtured by us. I was ever present. Body was born. And after the body dies, I will continue. Try to understand. Like electricity. So the body is what? A conduit through which I operates. Okay, electricity operates through the bulb. Like that, I, the consciousness principle, functions through the instrument called body-mind complex. Try to understand that? So therefore, I is the essential principle functioning through this body-mind complex. That is the definition. So this I is also responsible for, let us say, I will put it another important point, thinking. Amma Archana, are you thinking? So the thought process happens in I. Try to understand that. All thoughts, suddenly you get the thought of your son. From where did you get the thought? You understand? From where did you get the thought? Suddenly now the thought of a laboratory class comes to you, correct? Madam Lakshmi Kalpana Roy comes to you, correct? From where did it come? Try to understand that. You didn't manufacture that thought. Try to understand that it all comes. Okay, you are taking bath, suddenly the thought comes, correct? Yeah. Yeah. It is he's asking whether thinking is happening in consciousness. Consciousness expresses as thought. Consciousness expresses as this body. This body is an expression of consciousness. This green board is an expression of consciousness. This wooden plank is an expression of consciousness. Everything is an expression of consciousness. Okay, some are inert, some are sentient. So this I is in the human being is perceiving, is also thinking. And little bit sweating was there. Immediately you try to clean your face. That sensing, all bodily sensations. You feel itching somewhere. Somewhere itching you feel. You try to set it right. That sensations are sensed by consciousness. So all these are sensing happens, perceiving happens, and thinking happens, understanding happens. Okay, suppose I say sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. When you were taught that theorem first time, you will say, yes, I understand. This is a pen, perfect. These are pens. Understanding happens. That understanding happens in consciousness. Very important point. And this consciousness, to say that you are alive, should you consult Archana? No, you have to consult yourself. So this I is self-aware. You don't require what? Another entity to confirm. It is self-evident, self-aware. It knows itself. Okay, it is perceiving, it is thinking, it is also, as she told, it also presides over all actions. Presides over all actions. Okay, I'm going to ask a very important question. Okay, you close your eyes. Okay. Now, a few minutes back, you saw me, correct? That thought is there in consciousness and the image is fading, correct? Okay, you are listening? So that listening happens in consciousness. Try to understand that. Now, this particular consciousness in which you are listening, find a boundary. Find a boundary. Up to this is consciousness. Beyond that, it is not conscious. Try to find a boundary. What will be your answer, Ma Archana? Oh, she says within this room, she is conscious. What about you? Time is, you are conscious of time. Time appears in consciousness. But is there a boundary for consciousness? Hariharan, kelli purida? உங்களுக்கு உள்ள கான்சியஸ்னஸ் இருக்குதுன்னு தெரியுது. அதுக்கு பவுண்டரி எங்க? இங்கதான் சுத்தி, இந்த உடம்ப சுத்தி. Around the stage only your consciousness is there. That it is not there. அப்பனா என்ன அர்த்தம்? இந்த ரூமுக்கு வெளியில இல்ல. இல்ல. As of now, it is not there. No, it is not there. No, you are focusing here. Your eyes are falling here. My question is, you see the consciousness in which seeing takes place. Leisurely ask this question. Is there a boundary for consciousness? Is there a boundary for consciousness? And the answer you will get, I leave it to you as a homework. You cannot find a boundary. It is universal. Okay, try to find a boundary you cannot find. Try to find. Sit down calmly. I would like to say, up to this is my consciousness. Their consciousness is not there. If you have to say, who is that? Who says that statement? I don't understand that. There should be another consciousness which will find the boundary of earlier consciousness, which is impossible. So this boundary of consciousness is a belief. I believe. Please see an important point. We are coming close to this. We are holding on to this belief. Can you define belief, sir? Sir, belief. Okay, to cut the long story short. No. See, that time a limited entity is a belief. That time a separate, limited entity is a belief. By belief, I mean, I don't have a proof. I don't have an evidence. Try to understand that. I don't have an evidence, but I take it like that. Okay, I only just now asked her, where is the boundary for consciousness? She was trying to find out. Okay, she cannot find out. Okay, so therefore, but I believe there is no evidence that I am separate. But what is separate? Ma Santana Mari? Body is separate. Mind is separate. I cannot read your mind. Try to understand that. Body is separate. Physically, they are separate. Mind, your thoughts, I don't know. They are all separate. But the consciousness that is functioning through all of us is one consciousness, which is called non-dual. Meaning what? There is no second thing at all. Non-dual. That is my essential nature. If you can understand this, okay. Now you are who? Who are you? Yes, the Archana is the name given to this body-mind complex. Are you that? Huh? Huh? I am consciousness, doing consciousnessing, doing thinking, doing perceiving, right from childhood. Okay, Archana was given after some months only. But before that, what were you? You have been consciousness, you will be consciousness throughout. A minute. Okay, that consciousness is yourself. Start claiming. But this consciousness, I have believed it to be what? Like this body, like the mind, it is separate. Here there is one consciousness. Here there is one consciousness. Here there is yet another consciousness. That is a belief for which I don't have a valid proof. Yes, sir. The same thing. Oneness, non-dual, both are same. Okay. So therefore, there is a synonym, in fact. So therefore, believing that I am a separate entity, I am functioning. Correct? So how will I look upon the other person? How will I look upon Professor Sethu Narayanan? As another person. If I believe, take this belief as seriously, I will look upon him as separate from me. I'll hit him. Okay. But the moment I know he's not separate from me, essentially, how will I relate to him? As my own extension. Okay. Will there be harmony? Andurma, in relationship. Okay. And this consciousness is basically what? Infinite. ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்குல்ல, குறையொன்றும் இல்லை யாருக்கு? எனக்குன்னு சொல்லணும். ஓகே. இப்ப ஸ்லோலி நமக்குன்னு வந்துருச்சு. ஓகே. We sing the song, குறையொன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. For the Lord குறை இல்லை. எனக்கு குறை இருக்கு. The moment I slip to body mind, I have limitation. But I am not but the body mind. I am the consciousness that enlivens the body mind. The body mind came into existence in consciousness. Now it is speaking. Now consciousness is speaking to whom? To consciousness. Consciousness is listening what? To itself. Are you able to understand see the transformation? So that transformation, if you can understand very clearly, then you are here. Because you are infinite. There is nothing you have to achieve. No more PhDs, no more papers, no more patents for I. But the intellect wants what? Papers. Work for it. Some duty is there. Okay, you have to take care of the baby. You cannot go and tell your son, I am infinite consciousness. Consciousness will take care of you. No, this body is designed to take care of the child's body, which is another manifestation of consciousness. Try to understand that. I am the eternal, infinite consciousness. When you understand this, the mind will be calm. Today, your mind is chattering. Why? Because you take yourself as the mind, lacking mind, inadequate mind. Therefore, you are running into all kinds of problems. The moment you understand you are infinite, limitless consciousness. Now, anybody has a mirror? Sari, unoda kannadi kuda. Mirror vechirkiya? Any mirror? That is also available in the phone. Huh? Okay, see, look at it. You just give me the phone part just for a minute. Mirror. Okay, look at it. So many images appear. Okay. I just focus it on the class. Some image appears. Some people I am focusing, images appear. Does anything happen to the screen? No. Okay. Any image will appear. There may be some atrocity happening on the screen, but will the screen be disturbed? No. Try to understand that. So what all is happening to this imaginary tree. Nothing happens to the roots. Very important point. Try to understand. You can understand it with a mirror example. Mirror will reflect everything. Nothing happens to the mirror. Am I correct? Mirror will reflect. Consciousness says yes to all. You want to do a good thing, it will say yes. You want to do a mischief, it will say yes. You want to take yourself to be a limited person, it will say yes, you take and suffer. But the whole life has the goal of reverting back to the original self, the higher self we call it, and that is the process. Try to understand, if you can come back to your original self, nothing like that, which is unconditional love. Okay, what is the key thing? Recognize that you are the life principle. You are the consciousness which is listening, which is seeing, which is understanding, which is, who is having doubt? You had self-doubt. Who is having doubt? Don't say my mind. Okay, mind has, keep the mind away, little away. Don't say my mind. Mind has doubt. Do you have doubt? No. Try to understand that. You are the universal intelligence. You are the universal intelligence, okay, which has created the entire world, which is maintaining the entire universe, which is also what? Into which everything will dissolve. That is the essential nature of ourselves. If we understand this, well, all problems, and what they say is, you cut this tree, you kill this tree of imagination. If you happen to go to Bhagavad Gita chapter 15.1, this is the first verse. Okay, that means all told beautifully. This tree is to be felled by understanding that you are unperturbed consciousness, you are unperturbed, untouched. The more you understand that, you are the witness, you are the awareness of what all is happening. Nothing will affect us. If that understanding is there, then you are moving from the empirical world to your divine nature. You are going back to what? Your true self, your divine nature. If you can go back, all these will become what? Null and void. Okay, your spouse will be like that, your mother-in-law will be like that, your baby will be like that, but you are what? Your true self. All these problems will not bother you. Try to understand that. So this is called a discrimination. Discrimination between what? Your lower self, which is body-mind complex, role identification. If you can switch over to your essential I, which is the witness, you are back to this thing. I think my time is up. Yeah, I'll take 2 minutes and finish. A few practices. Number one, calm the mind. Unless you calm the mind, you cannot recognize your true self. How to calm the mind? Only source is meditation, that's all. Meditate. Keep observing. Okay. Third is do self-inquiry. What do you mean by self-inquiry? Ask question, who is suffering? Who is doubting? Who is doubting? Mind is doubting. Who are you? That's all. And you are not the mind. So what happens? You're free. Try to understand that. Solution is so simple. Okay. I have so many limitations. Who has these limitations? Body may have limitation, mind may have limitation, intellect may have limitation. Okay, but the limitations are not in me, the consciousness. If you understand, that's all good. So this is called self-inquiry process. Another thing is meditate, Breath watching is that day we saw somebody was practicing breath watching. Another is be with nature. These are some of the practices. Be with nature. Who is good at bhakti in our group? Arpa, Kadul Sami Kumbrudhyar. In all your bhakti recitations, you will be talking of what? Glorifying the divinity. Okay, now tell me to whom you are glorifying? I am glorifying myself. The more you glorify the divine nature, glorify. That means you are not coming to your lower nature by glorifying the divinity, by glorifying your higher nature. You are jumping from your lower nature to your higher nature. That's all. Okay, if you can follow these practices, have you seen somebody who will be saying, Ram Ram? I have a professor. Whenever we go open up the phone, he will say Ram Ram. That means what? He is trying to switch over from the lower self to the higher self. And after finishing the lecture, my teacher used to say what? Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. That means what? It was an offering to Lord Krishna, which is the universal reality. Something like that. I offer it to Jesus Christ. I offer it to Buddha. I offer it to Zen. I offer it to Allah. Okay. So therefore, that offering will help us to go to our higher self. All religions have this single message of moving away from the lower self to the higher self. But when we say religion, we get into rituals and get caught. Finished. That is the limitation. Okay, I think I have overshooted my time. Okay, maybe one question I will entertain, with that we'll close. Anybody can ask one question. Our audience can ask a question. Yeah, our Professor Venkatesh here is asking a question. Yeah.
For consciousness, don't we need a physical body?
So, that's a very good question. Does consciousness require a physical body to express itself? Consciousness has got infinite degrees of freedom. It can express in its own way. Okay. Need not be through physical body alone. Consciousness expresses through all forms of life, starting from a blade of grass to plants, birds, animals, human beings, planets, okay, non-living beings. It expresses itself in umpty number of ways. Okay, let us not constrain consciousness by saying a limitation that it requires an instrument to express itself. Okay, for speaking, it requires a body. Okay, but it can express itself in umpty number of ways which the mind cannot grasp. Okay, fine. So I think we'll close with this. There should be many questions. Please do feel free. And of course, you can always meet me in person and ask these questions. We'll talk in detail. Hopefully, you have got a glimpse of what we were talking. Are you all able to understand? What is that we have to do? Can somebody tell me in a nutshell? What is the essential concept of our discussion today?
Follow the practice to move from our psychological suffering to reach our ultimate goal, happiness.
So that was a simple statement. How to move away from our psychological suffering to our essential nature and abide in happiness, peace, love, understanding, and whatnot. Okay, so that our life becomes what? Better, richer, right? So this is what we teach in Universal Human Values to whom? To the first year students. Of course, we have done a crash course, but we will elaborate it for about 20 hours or so by giving lots of examples and case studies. Okay, so therefore I request all of you to pick up this stuff and teach the course Universal Human Values to students so that you will be in touch with these concepts and you can inculcate this goodness to the students at every stage. So thank you one and all. Thanks for your patient listening. Thanks a lot. We'll catch up. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. P.V. Mohan Ram, sir, our founder principal, for a very engaging session wherein we were able to have a self journey, thinking of what are the various sufferings we have and how to come out of it by understanding that I is just our consciousness and not all the other things are just a manifestation of consciousness. Thank you, sir, for all the teachings, and we would like to spread the same to the student community also and inculcate the same into our lives. We thank all the participants for the active participation through the chat box also. Yes, there have been 50 participants in the online mode, and we thank all of them for their presence and active participation. Thank you, and we will meet in the next session at 11. Kindly join in the next session at 11:30. Thank you.